Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam Caesar, and this is Project Black T-shirt. Today I'm going to talk to you about 5 books that haven't been adapted into movies yet, but should be. All horror books, because this is a horror channel. So if you don't like horror, maybe stick around, you might learn something. And if you really don't like horror, move along. So this isn't any kind of definitive top 5, and these aren't going to be ranked in any order. They're just 5 books that I really like, really love, and I think would make good movies and haven't been adapted into movies yet. A ton of the kind of, if you look on YouTube, a ton of the, top 5 horror novel videos you're going to find are going to be about books that are classics and have been adapted not only once, but numerous times. Things like Dracula, The Haunting of Hill House, that kind of stuff. These are all basically newer books, except with one exception. Just gonna run down them real quick. The other stipulation I had is I didn't want to have to edit in images of covers. I didn't want to include ebooks. I didn't want to include things I couldn't actually hold in front of the camera and show you guys. So this is gonna be 5 books that I had on me. They're not in storage. I was able to, grab them off my shelves, and I figured, I'll make this quick video. It'll be fun. We'll do a little top 5 here of books that aren't movies but maybe should be. If you're interested in more stuff like this, I've done 2 of my columns for Cemetery Dance have been called Option This, which are, it's a similar concept. I take 3 books that haven't been made into movies, or 3 books or short stories that haven't been made into movies, kind of make the case for why they should be, who should be directing them and stuff. I'll put links down in the video description if you're interested in that and you want to go read them. So the first book is Gabino Iglesias' Zero Saints. This is for not only horror fans, but for crime fans. Iglesias kind of calls this a barrio noir. It's about this guy, Fernando, who's like this, drug, muscle-heavy, not a kingpin, just kind of this flunky, sells drugs, beats people up, and his drug dealer boss gets killed by an encroaching gang in Austin, Texas, and he realizes that he's kind of marked for death next. So he wants to protect himself and defeat these seemingly supernatural bad guys. So he kind of goes and starts messing with Santeria, starts trying to get himself protected. There's a good amount of the Spanish language in the book, but it should not in any way be any kind of detriment to your enjoyment of the book. If you can read English, you can read Zero Saints. It's all context. It's not hard. Really great book, really cool setting, and really cool flavor. I love it to death. It's really great and not long. Shouldn't take you long to read it all. This is out from Broken River Books. So that's Gabino Iglesias' Zero Saints. The next book we're going to talk about is actually kind of me cheating a bit because it is a short story collection, a single author collection. It's the Imago Sequence by Laird Barron. The reason I am kind of counting this as a novel is because I don't actually have the one novel from Laird Barron that I want to talk about, which is The Croning. But all of his not all, but a lot of his short stories are kind of connected by this overarching idea, this mythos, kind of like Lovecraft's are, because he is a kind of cosmic horror writer. So if you watched that last video that I posted, you were down in the comments telling me I was totally wrong about Lovecraft, then you'll definitely really like Barron, because he's kind of working in the same wheelhouse, but I think a little better. A lot of tough guy stories, like a lot of beautiful writing, along with a lot of heavy ideas, but rendered in kind of an adventure story mode, because they're just really great. Like a really cool American writer, Laird Barron. If you like this, if you like The Croning, you're going to kind of want to keep reading. He has 2 other collections. My favorite of which is The Beautiful Thing Which Awaits Us All. The first story in that is killer. And the reason I'm putting in this video, it's like the idea of, oh, make a cool movie, horror movie, websites and stuff like that are always talking about, oh, what if we made an Expendables of horror? But if you kind of started adapting Barron's stories, you can almost do a Marvel universe, Marvel extended universe of horror. Not that it may work. It's kind of similar to something James Wan's doing with The Conjuring, where he's making these movies and then handing off other characters to do spin-offs, like Annabelle and now The Nun, to other directors. A neat idea. I don't know. Hollywood, call me. Number 3 on our list, a vampire novel by Michael Rowe. I am not the biggest fan of vampire novels. Of course, I love kind of the classics, and I love kind of the neo-classics, like stuff like The Light at the End by Skip Inspector. But this Enter Night is a Canadian Salem's Lot is kind of the elevator pitch for this. Very, very cool. Dips into Canada's history, not so great history with Indigenous peoples, things like that. It is really, really scary. I know a lot of memes get shared around about like vampires kind of being like not as monstrous or not as scary as they used to be. But the bad guys and the non-vampiric bad guys in Enter Night are such complete bastards. A really, really, really good book. His other book out with Cheesine, Wildfell, is a haunted house novel or ghost story that would also make a cool movie. This would be really neat. Next, we have Haunt by Laura Lee Barr. This is maybe one of the weirder books on this list. Is a multi-character perspective choose your own adventure novel, but it's not choose your own adventure. You don't get to choose what happens. You just kind of have to keep reading it like a linear novel as things are skipping around, as you're seeing characters like alternate fates. It would be incredibly difficult to adapt into a movie, but I think if a indie director was able to kind of think of a way to crack it, boy, would they have a great movie on their hands. Really, really love this book. If I'm making it sound difficult, something like House of Leaves or John Dies at the End. If you're into those kind of mind-melting books like that, it is not intimidating at all. It's a very easy and quick read, but still just beautiful writing and really, really cool execution. Last but not least, we're talking about horror novels. We're talking about horror adaptations. I'm wearing a Stephen King shirt. How the hell could we not talk about a Stephen King book? Well, actually, very easily, because many, many, many of Stephen King's stories and novels have already been adapted, so that kind of disqualifies them. But the one that hasn't is one of my favorites. He wrote it as Richard Bachman, and this is a collection, an omnibus collection of 4 of the books that he had released synonymously as Richard Bachman. And the book I want to talk about is The Long Walk. People that like things like The Hunger Games or The Running Man, which is also in here, or Battle Royale, things where the dystopian countries kind of put on sadistic game shows. This is about a group of teenage boys who are collected by the government every year, and they have to walk from Maine down to Florida, or as far as they can get. If they stop at any point, they get shot, and they just kind of drop off. And the last one standing wins. So it's a really, really cool dystopian novel. If it doesn't sound like there's a lot of action to be had in a bunch of teenage boys walking from Maine to Florida, there isn't, but it's not about that. It's about these characters, and it's about this idea of why keep going, why go on when everything seems so screwed. It's a really great, really touching, not exactly the most uplifting read. But hey, maybe you guys on YouTube, you're having too good a day and you want to dial it down a bit. They've been kind of threatening to make a movie out of The Long Walk for a really long time. I know Frank Darabont was one time attached to direct, and he did The Mist. So something like the way they adapted The Mist would be kind of perfect. But the book, you shouldn't kind of wait for the adaptation. You should go pick up either one of these omnibuses or still in print, like a paperback copy of The Long Walk itself. All right, that's it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you really like this video, please subscribe. Check out my other videos. Each week, I look at a horror movie or a horror book, and then I find a horror movie or horror book to pair with them, so you always have something to read and watch and talk about in the comments with me. If you could think of any other books that haven't been adapted and would make good movies, please comment and let us know. We'll want to check them out. If you're interested in me, and this is where I get the most self-promotionally, if you're interested in me, please check out my website. I also write books. None of those have been turned into movies either. So check out my website, adamcaesar.com. Links in the description. I got all kinds of stuff for you. All right, have a good day.